Welcome back to Tight Sports. We're going to talk about this week's coming up NFL games. It is the 21st of September. A day I remember. First, let's get into the injuries. Big injuries right now. Nick Chubb playing against my team. Hope he gets better. They did sign the running back they had last year, but he's only going to be there for just, you got to work him into shape. Kareem Hunt is going to be a backup to Ford. Ford is a capable back for Cleveland, but I really do hope Nick Chubb gets better soon. Anthony Richardson is in the concussion protocol. Derrick Henry's toe can't really run that well without a good toe. And even more important, Joe Burrow has a calf problem that's been lingering for quite some time that's going to impact the Bengals this weekend. It's been impacting them all week. Those are what they call the key injuries, but trust me when I say if the tackle that is blocking on your blind side is having a problem, I don't care if he's having problems with parking tickets, that it could also be considered a notable injury. There are injuries all over the NFL. You know it, I know it. They try to let us know what's going on, but I said Jerome Ford's going to be good for Cleveland because he put a hurting on my boys the other night as well in a very weird game. Now on to the games. We have the Giants being visited by the 49ers. Purdy and McCaffrey about to go ham in New York. They wish Godzilla had taken on Godzilla instead. Barkley is out. The former Tide OC Brian Daboll is stuck with Daniel Jones. Lord have mercy. Buku. Let's see Buku on you. Cause Daniel Jones is Struggleville. Okay, the Commanders versus the Bills. Commanders mount up, but the Bills about to wipe them out. Sam Howell shows some potential of being a capable quarterback, but then, he's not ready. Defense is showing some flashes over there, but the Cardinals, they're weak. And the Broncos are still trying to figure things out, even though the Commanders may beat them. But Allen is ready to roll, really for the rest of the season, the regular season at least. Playoffs, is he ready to make that big roll? I don't know. Browns versus Titans, as we say, this game is hampered by major injuries to Nick Chubb and to Derrick Henry has a toe that may keep him out. Browns lost a toss. They lost a tough one in the worst way, if you ask me, on Monday night. But their defense is tough. They are bona fide. They're legit. There's some G's over there. If Watson doesn't get it together, though, and get his defense some rest, the Titans may pound him in the ground. They still got running backs in the backfield, and they're going to run the ball. And the reason they execute real running the ball is because of their offensive line. So, not saying you can stick anybody back there and run all over the Browns, but if this is a close game going into the fourth quarter, fatigue sets in. So Watson has to get it together. However, I typically don't trust Tannehill. Yeah, Chubb is done. Hunt has a pulled hamstring loading because I don't know what kind of shape he's in, but holdouts like with Jonathan Taylor, holdouts, people jumping the season around week 5 or later, muscles just ain't ready. But Browns do have a capable running back in Jerome Ford, and that just may be enough to get them past the Titans. Jacksonville Jaguars in Houston, Texas. Sunshine Lawrence really threw me into a DraftKings ditch on Sunday. Hopefully he can get back on track against the upstart Texans. I don't expect much from the Texans, but the Jags defense did hold Mahomes down for about 3 quarters. So what do I expect? A rookie quarterback in his rookie quarterback and his really they got a third string starter and a rookie quarterback, because I don't even know the other guy's name with the Texans. So I don't know what we expect them to do against a defense that does know how to get after people. The Ravens and the Colts. Whew. The Ravens wins are suspect against the Bengals, and the upstart Texans. But this Colt thing might hit different. I'm not sure if Anthony Rich is going to be allowed to play, if he's going to stay in the protocol for the rest of this week. But if he gets on that field, they're allowing this man to win any which way he can that's legal. I mean, running, throwing, flipping, skipping, rolling, bowling, bumping, jumping. They don't care. He's getting it done. Hell, he's in the he's in the protocol. I don't know if they're going to be able to clear him before Sunday. That remains to be seen. But the Colts defense has to hold up. But the running back situation really could hamper the ravenous ones this week. Losing Dobbins. No one was really impressed with the people that were in there that were backing him up in the first place. Leaving. It's the kind of game where Lamar said, "I'll show you what A-Rich is supposed to be doing." You know what I'm saying? So at home, you kind of got to go with the Ravens. Let's see what the spread is on that one. It's always close in the NFL. It's like 8 points. I could go with that. I really could go with that. I think the ravenous ones can pull it off. The Vikes and the Chargers. Boy, the Vikings, Jefferson lost a TD that would have kept them in the game versus Philly. I mean, great play, went up and just lost it to a touchback. When it happened, I thought, this was definitely a mistake. But when he did it, I said, that's a touchback. But not sure they thought they would lose to Tampa Bay and the Baker, but never fear for the Vikings. Never fear, because here comes the Superchargers, D. Staley, and the Lightning Bolts are now the Lightning Rods. And if you need a win, just get them on the phone. They're here to help you out. Eckler might play, but it probably won't matter much because, basically the Charger situation is pretty much a dumpster fire. And I don't think it's going to be fixed just by one player coming back, although he is an awesome player. I don't know if they will play him enough, give him enough reps to where it really matter. They just got a lot of problems going with the Chargers. I haven't dug into that situation because, like I said, what do I know? I just watch football on the weekends, not what I do for a living. Jets versus the Patriots. Roll Tide, Mac. But how is Bailey allowing you to jack up his legacy? Perhaps you can tell Bailey to open up the old playbook to help you guys out, to crack the winning column, or at least plays to get to keep him healthy, keep Mac healthy and everybody healthy, because the Jets got a missiles of a defense coming at you, man. I mean, even with Zach Wilson, I'll take the Jets over the Patriots right now, because Mac is a better QB than Zach Wilson. Not this much. It's about this much. It's not that much, but it's it's there. But I don't know. I think maybe Mac needs time to gel with his receivers or something that's going on there. I just don't see. It's good, then it's bad. It's just not consistent. I don't know. I mean, that just shows you how special Brady was. I mean, he'd go anywhere. Like, who's catching? These guys and that guy. Okay. All right, let's go. Next thing you know, you got a flag football championship. Don't matter. He's just special. Just treating everybody like Brady has not worked thus far. Packers versus the Saints. This is a good battle to watch. Saints have defense. Their pass defense, but has their pass defense really been tested? Tannehill and Baby Bryce are not exactly top NFL talent for right now. The Packers are looking okay after losing a legend and Warlock at QB, but given their offensive weapons that they were able to work with, man, Love, he's doing a pretty good job, considering. And he did have time to learn on the legend, and maybe learned a couple potions from the Warlock. Gotta give a home team a little bit of advantage. And I think this game is being played in New Orleans. Nope, been played in they're in Wisconsin. I give Jordan Love the definitely advantage, cause D Card, man, I have a strong feeling that he's just gonna jack anything they try to do up. Dude is not. He's not the quarterback that should be wheeling and dealing. He wasn't being wheeled and dealed because he was just ripping it up in Las Vegas. He was always an average quarterback who was given like above average. It's no difference between him and Garoppolo. Like his numbers are better, but look at the wins. Both of them, 8 wins. Next one is like 4 horrible losses, and then 4 days they just don't show up at work either because they're sick or they bring their body, but they don't bring their mind and talent. Anyway, Lions at the Falcons. Typically, the Falcons ain't worth a hand clap. Now the defense appears to be ready to defend the house, and the O is full of weapons, especially in the backfield. And they kind of, they're using them real nice, spread the ball around, run the ball effectively. Got 2 backs, so we'll see. But the Lions still gonna be my pick. But it would be my pick. Sorry, the Lions should be my pick, but they down. Montgomery may not play. St. Brown, and here go their tackle. Their left tackle Decker is out. Should be a win for them dirty, nasty sewage birds. Should be, but we can't tell because sometimes them dirty birds just lose it. They just fall apart. Another injury plagued game. Miami Dolphins versus the Broncos. The air in Colorado, the altitude in Colorado, the water in the mountains. Yeah. Well, Waddle got a concussion. He's in a concussion protocol, but one thing I tell you about that air in Colorado, it makes the ball travel faster and further. And Tyreek Hill ain't got to do but run like 8 sprints the whole game where nobody can stay within 2 yards of him. And on 8 of those, if he gets the ball 4 of those times, ball game. What happened, ball game? I mean, Patrick Surtain can't check everybody. I mean, if you don't check the third receiver for the Dolphins, not sure of his name, but one thing I do know, he seems to be pretty fast. They've like switched with the Kansas City Chiefs, and they're not just trying to go deep; they're going. So he's popping that ball here and there. If they break one, they break one. Then he hits you deep. Then you got a running game. So these Delphinics, if you know what that is, will run these horses into the ground. Russell Wilson is getting closer to getting comfortable with his wide receivers, but that second half last week looked like last year. Yuck. That's what last year looked like. Yuck, yuckity yuck. Seahawks versus the Panthers. Seahawks gonna win, y'all. Matter of fact, I think Bryce has a banged up knee or ankle. Bryce might not play. But now here comes Little Red Dalton. Different game, because what Dalton can do is execute an offense. The Panthers' only chance is a perfect execution in all phases and 100+ degree weather with 97% humidity. Unfortunately, the weather is expected to be quite pleasant. And if Geno is not experiencing jet lag, this should be the week the Hawks proves that they are not the hacks. So I'm going to take the Hawks in that one. And this next game, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. It's Chiefs versus the Chicago Cubs, the football Chicago Cubs. And the Chiefs are going to blow them out the water. And I would suggest that if you watch this game, probably want to watch it with a spiritual advisor, because we all need therapy after watching the prison-like violence that's probably going to take place on the field. My advice to the football Cubs is simply to roll up into the fetal position and try not to stare the champions directly in the face. It would take missed flights and no rental cars in Kansas City in order for KC to lose this one. Mahomes should be on the bench by the end of the third quarter. That's what I'm talking about, folks. If you're looking for a program to skip over because you're just a fan of football, not necessarily a fan of the Chiefs, to all other non-Chiefs fans like myself, this would be a good time to catch up on season 13 of Law & Order SVU. Yeah. Cardinals and Cowboys. Out in the street, they call it murder. Man, Cardinals should make sure that their health policies are active. No, but get ready for week 4. Rest your starters. Hey, I'm nowhere near being a Cowboys fan. If it's possible, get your second teams or your backups and get some of the people on special teams, get them some playing time as a starter, man. You know what I'm saying? Let them work on their resume and their film, and go ahead and get ready for next week. Yeah. Buccaneers and Eagles. Now, Baker and them beat the Vikes and the football Cubs. I don't think they'll get past the Eagles defense. And the Bucs will need to do more than throw the ball to Evans to get them past Philadelphia. No win is easy in the league, but compared to the two others, Philadelphia should not get beat up on too bad. I have no faith in Baker Mayfield. He always looks good at the beginning of the year. But I think more than his talent, I think his body lets him down. Unless he sees somebody about that, some kind of yoga person, acupuncturist, that could change everything for him. But Philly ain't joking on defense. And the offense is just as physical. So, but I still think Philadelphia should go ahead and take this one on out. But, especially if they shut down Mike Evans. That's all he did last week, just Evans in a rebound. He was catching rebound balls all day. Nobody could jump with him, but they ain't gonna work against Philadelphia. Just not, because they throw the same kind of jump ball looking for AJ, so they get plenty of practice with an oversized receiver. Bengals and the Rams. Pressure. I'm just telling you, the Rams ain't playing with nobody. The quarterback is back playing. He's balling out of control. This thing going on with Joe Burrow's calf is crucial. I don't know if it's a torn Achilles or if it's something that's ruptured down, or if he has a bone bruise down there. But they say it's really affecting him. And if I had to call it, I'm gonna go with the Rams. I'm going with the Rams big time because they're not clicking. Jamar chasing them. They've been talking money because they got another guy play the other wide receiver. He got to get his money, and Joe got his money. And anytime from a fantasy football perspective, when somebody signs a big contract, don't look for a big year. Think about your job. You're going from making $85,000 to $270,000 in the same position, not promoted to supervisor or manager. You go from being, accounting to senior accountant to just a senior accountant at the same company, but for some reason they tripled or either quintupled your salary to $400,000. That first year, you may put out. Them guys are already banged up. So Joe Burrow and this big country, it's just typical. Just Ezekiel Elliott, just get that big money, man. It's just like it just. I mean, everybody ain't. Guys on defense used to be okay. People on offense who are taking that pound, you start looking at 3 generations of money. In the game we're already been waiting for. Definitely be tuning in to see the Raiders play the Steelers. I should say Raiders lose to the Steelers. We're on the road this week. There's a lot of pressure playing Three Rivers stations. Three Rivers. Got all those around the Three Rivers. You got all them trophies and legends. This trip to Vegas should get the boys a little time for R&R so they can go ape on the Raiders. I'm talking about ape. I'm talking about Jimmy Garoppolo. Boy, y'all just wrap you up in bubble wrap for this game because they coming. They coming and they got me in defense. That front seven ain't playing with y'all. I mean, look at Roll Tide. Josh Jacobs is averaging less than 2 yards on 28 carries for the season. That's probably going to be a blocking thing more than it is a motivation thing. Then again, I don't know if his contract thing, I think it ended up with him being a franchise. Makes you tip around a little bit. And they'll need more than Jimmy G to get them across the finish line. I mean, even come within close. Sometimes he can go off on you, but we already struggling. We kind of coming up. I think we made some strides the other night, and not really at quarterback. That's our only problem. So it would help Jimmy G if they will find D. Adams earlier than often, but we have a disruptive pass rush that'll make that really tough for them to just dominate us just with one player, playing pitch and catch. Peterson is a little older at DB, but that's what Meek is there for, the backup people. So I don't see them. I don't see not being comfortable. Oh, that's a Sunday night game too. Ooh, nice. Hopefully I can go to sleep with the victory. Well, anyway, that's all I got on NFL for this week. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel where we have more content like this from a couch potatoes type of perspective, with a little intelligence. And if you got any comments, please leave them. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, this is Tight Sports. Keep it tight and right out there.